I'm telling this story in a faraway scene, sipping down raki and reading Maynard Keynes. Nope, don't worry, I haven't done a Dominic Cummings. I am here in Brussels, but I am dreaming of holidays, and I'm sure you are too. So today I'm going to review the prospects of having a summer holiday abroad. Secondly, that European Commission announcement yesterday on the budget, what does it all mean? And third and finally, those Brexit negotiations, how can we get the deal we need in the next 2 or 3 weeks? I'm going to do all that without the waffle. Welcome to Mark's Week. So can we pack our bags for our summer holiday abroad yet or not? Well, firstly, let's remind ourselves of those guidelines issued by the European Commission a couple of weeks ago on trying to reboot the tourism season for this summer. Well, those guidelines provided a lot of worthy aspirations, but unfortunately not the clarity that the industry nor indeed the traveller needs. But to be fair, in one area, aviation, there has been real progress with the protocol insisting on social distancing but allowing the industry to operate if other measures, equivalent measures, can be introduced. So it's a very practical, proportionate and above all evidence-based way of operating aviation this summer, and it's a template perhaps other sectors in the industry, hotels, bars, restaurants and indeed the cruise industry could follow. So I think there is a good chance we will be able to pack our bags for a summer holiday, but watch this space. Secondly, that recovery plan from the COVID-19 crisis, a major increase in the EU budget, that making sure the budget is spent in a way that delivers the EU's priorities, not least in the field of sustainability and the European Green Deal. Let's see what the Commission President had to say.
By raising unprecedented amounts of funding at European level, we will be focused by channeling the funding to the new priorities that will shape the future. And to achieve this, we're setting up Next Generation EU worth 750 billion euro. Together with the core MFF of 1.1 trillion, this sums up to 1.85 trillion euro in today's proposal. We will use the bulk of this money to help member states recover from the crisis and build up their long-term resilience capacity.
So the Commission, they're proposing a massive increase in the budget, in fact several times the size of the Marshall Plan, with strings attached, not least this concept of no harm. And proposals like the Biodiversity Strategy will mean that the future operating environment, the regulatory environment, will be very different from the one we saw pre-COVID-19. Let's quickly look at the ambitions of that Biodiversity Strategy. So if businesses, organisations on a roadmap for the future, the biodiversity strategy is a good place to start. Third and finally, those Brexit negotiations on Britain's relationship with the EU after the end of the transition period, that angry exchange of letters. There really is little prospect of a deal if this is the way we're going to continue, and I think it's time for a ceasefire, and I'm now advocating that we bring in an independent, eminent person to try and bring both sides together. It's in neither side's interest to have this war of words or indeed to end the year without a deal, and I think the Institute of Government summed it up very well when they said that both sides have got to really change their approach, and the UK in particular has got to sell the idea that a deal is good for the UK, but it's also good for the EU. Can I conclude by hoping that you found Mark's week interesting? I urge you to read News and Views for more information about all the links to the various documents I've referred to. I hope you comment and I hope you share. In particular, I'd like to thank Pruitt, the award-winning American DJ, for agreeing to allow me to use his fantastic remix of that classic hit by McFadden and Whitehead, and he's going to play us out beyond the credits. I hope you listen, I hope you like what he's doing too, but above all, stay safe.
Ain't no stopping us now.